Hey guys, so today I'm going to talk about a topic which I've wanted to talk to you about for a while, but I guess I didn't really feel in the right place to do it mentally. But this week, or this fortnight, Channel Mum have a special mental health fortnight. So I wanted to share really my story about postnatal depression. Now I'm kind of at a point now where I can talk about it quite freely and quite openly, and it probably seems like I'm being far too cheery, like woohoo, I've had postnatal depression, but I am now at a point where I feel like, seriously, it is no wonder people have postnatal depression, because really your body pretty much goes through a car crash. Then you are made to have to be up like every 2 hours. You have sore boobs. You're also, if you have another child, you're trying to look after a baby, have no sleep, and then get up with a toddler and run around the place every day. And the truth is, I feel a bit like, you know, if anyone in the world was sleep deprived every night for months on end, you know, physically tired out every day, and had gone through quite a traumatic experience, well, if your birth has been traumatic, I know many are absolutely wonderful, but my first one was pretty traumatic, and you know, physically and mentally I was going through that trauma, but then was like, right, yeah, you've no time to recover, you've just got to now be up every 2 hours and look after this little person. In many ways it is like, it is no wonder so many women are diagnosed with postnatal depression. I think the official statistic I read today was 1 in 5, but I think it is much higher than that, because for most of my friends that I've spoken to at some stages had little periods of certainly feeling very depressed. I think that it is something that many women feel guilty about. Many women feel like if they say they've got postnatal depression that they're going to be judged as a bad mother, that they don't love their child. I know people that have said to me about worrying about if they do go to the doctors that it's going to be on their record and if their employer sees that. But I just want to say, oh my goodness, if people were able to be sacked because they had postnatal depression, there would probably be very few mums in the workforce nowadays. It is something that I really don't think that you should worry about. It's not something, I mean, my records or my medical notes will say that I have had postnatal depression twice after both of my children, because I was diagnosed with after both of them. I've been put on antidepressants, but I'm now over the other side of it, and actually I feel okay about that diagnosis, because I feel like I'm human and I'm not Superwoman, and I'm not perfect, and I can't be perfect, and I was striving for perfection, and then when I wasn't reaching it was really like sort of punishing myself even more, which didn't help with the lack of sleep. Now I just feel like actually it's okay to say you have postnatal depression. It is okay to share it, because you actually are probably going through something that most mums go through. It's a hard time when you first have a baby, and for me, the hardest thing was the sleep deprivation. And after both my girls, you could sort of take the root cause of everything was the fact I was just so tired. So tired. What we have to remember is sleep deprivation was used as a form of torture. I mean, the exhaustion literally nearly drove me insane. At one stage I was so blurry I couldn't see. I did want to sometimes just get in my car and drive away, and I came close to it. I ended up in A&E at like 4 in the morning one time, being like, seriously, what's wrong with her? And actually all I wanted them to do was take the baby away so I could go and sleep. And you know, that it did really send me slightly crazy. And I remember going to meet my mom one day in the park, and I'd had a really bad night and I just broke down. I was like, I can't even be here, I can't even be here, I just need to leave, I just need to leave. And yeah, it wasn't a good place to be. I just felt sort of like a shell of my former self. It is a hard adjustment, children generally, because you're changing from the life that you had before, when you had loads of freedom to lie in till whatever time you wanted, go to bed till whatever time you wanted, you know, plan things, go on holidays. And suddenly, once you become a parent, things do change. And I think even though you know that before you have a baby, you don't realize just how much your life is going to change. And yes, it changes for the better. I adore my children, I love being a mom, but I also am aware that it is not easy, and that it is harder than I ever thought that it was going to be. because you become a slave to this tiny little human who likes to scream a lot and not sleep. And yeah, for me, as I said, I think a lot of my postnatal depression and my issues, my mental health issues, do relate back to the fact that I was so tired. With my first daughter, there was also the trauma of the birth, so I think that did definitely have an impact. But with Sienna, I just felt, because I wasn't, with Sienna, I was really happy generally. I had a much better birth. I wasn't traumatized. I felt really good after she was born. I was physically in a much better place because the birth hadn't been as bad. So with her, I was actually really happy when she was first born, but it was just the months and months of no sleep and not getting any help or not having any help that slowly wore me down. Now, I did go to the doctor, and I have to be honest, I was prescribed antidepressants, but I did feel a bit like that's all they were kind of giving me. I remember the doctor just kind of saying to me, oh, well, you're just going to have to get friends and family to like help out. And you know, that's easier said than done. I am lucky I have family near me, but other people don't. And I really wish there was more help for sleep deprivation. Like if there had been some sort of service or some sort of place I could go where they would just take the baby for one night and let me sleep. Obviously when I was breastfeeding that was difficult to do, but when she was about 6 months old, I could have left her. And even from 6 months, if I'd had some sort of service I could have gone to just take the baby and let them sleep, then it really would have helped me. I could talk lots more about my experience, but I know this video has been quite long already. I don't want to blabber on too much and bore you all, but please feel free to ask any questions below. I'm quite open about talking about things to do with mental health and, you know, anxiety, postnatal depression, things like that, sleep deprivation. But I just want to say, if you do have postnatal depression or you think you have postnatal depression, firstly, you're not alone. Don't feel like there's a stigma. Talk to people. You know, I want to say there is help out there, but if you're suffering with sleep deprivation, there's not a lot of help out there. You can get a sleep trainer, but they're expensive, but you will get through it, as tiring as it seems. I'll not chat too much more because I don't want to bore you, but as I said, please leave any questions below. If there's anything more you want to know about postnatal depression or my experience of postnatal depression, then I will happily share with you anything. And I will be back soon with hopefully a video with a slightly more happy topic, probably baby names knowing me, but I'll be back very soon. Okay, bye.